and I am all alone. There is no one here beside me, and my problems have all gone. There is no one to deride me, but you got to have friends. The feelings are so strong. You got to have friends to make that day last long. I got some friends, but they're gone. Something came and took them away, and from the dusk till the dawn, here is where I'll stay, standing at the end of the road, boys, waiting for my new friends to come. I don't care if I'm hungry or cold, I'm gonna give me some of them, 'cause you got to have friends. Friends, that's right, you. Oh, you, yeah, you. I said you got to have some friends. Talking about friends. That's right, friends. Friends, friends, friends. I had some friends, oh, but they are all gone, gone. Someone came and snatched them away, and from the dead until the very dawn. You know, here's where I gotta stay. Here is where I gotta stay, and I'm standing at the end of a real long road, and I'm waiting for my new friends to come. I don't care if I'm hungry or freezing cold. I'm gonna get me some of them, 'cause you got to have friends. That's right, friends. Friends. I gotta be mine. I gotta be mine. I gotta be mine. Look around and see all of my friends. Oh, friends. That's right, friends. 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 Friends.
Hello and welcome to another night of Rundgren Radio Birthday Bash 14.
Second night.
Yes.
Oh, isn't those fun? I love looking at those pictures of friends.
Yes,
Go to
friendship. That's what it's all about. Last night was a lot of fun. Love to see all the old shows and how much fun we had with fan caves and behind the scenes and all that stuff. That was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to visit with some people. We got to see, who'd we get to see? Kazin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prairie.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We have more special guests tonight, but we're also going to do some clips. Just like last night, we'll show you some clips from last year. We have the fun things that we did for the Clearly Human tour. We kind of got crazy and did tile takeovers or just had interviews with people, pre-show parties. They were a lot of fun. We had some great guests, and I think tonight you'll laugh more than even last night. There were some really funny scenes that we had with some people. So that's going to be fun. And we have some Todd birthday celebrations, a Todd Phantom Day we did, a Todd Scott that we did, a pet night, lots of stuff like that you're going to see tonight from last year. And then we have stuff that is current, Cruiser Mel.
Well, we might just check in with some other special guests, and not to say that our fans are not special guests. They're very special guests. So we're going to be visiting with some more fans and hearing their Todd stories tonight.
Yeah, I love the Todd stories. It's fun to figure out when people started and how they figured it out.
I'm surprised how many go really far back.
Maybe we need to get some people that are a little newer.
Yeah, bring it. Come on, people. Like
me, for example, compared to the people that we've had. So RundgrenRadio.com/Cincy. We have a party. We'll mention that too for the future and Halloween. That's going to be in Cincinnati following the night that Todd Rundgren gets into the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted. So supposedly, allegedly, Todd will be accepting the award on stage in Cincinnati for that concert, which a lot of us will be attending. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then we have a party with Secret Society Duo and Friends. So
Friends.
Yep, people from She-Ra, Throw Money, Columbia College, special guest drummer, and then we have a special guest singer, Mia Jones.
Maybe Doug Ford.
No. You'll see her tonight on the show, by the way, even though we're not going to reveal everybody that's going to be on. But we have a lot of special guests tonight, and we have a lot of fun going for you. So we're glad that you're here. And we know that, times are tough for travel. We're not encouraged to do that for this weekend. And we wanted to throw a little party. So here we are.
Yeah, we are. We are really glad that you're here. So, pull up your lazy boy and just flick back that thingy on the side and drink your drink and eat your pretzels or whatever you do. And hope you guys are enjoying it because we are.
We're having a blast, and we had a blast last year, and we'll have a blast in our 15th year, which is officially starting. So let's get started, Chris. I think you're going to really like these. The Clearly Human tour, a virtual tour, basically, that was supposed to be like a real tour that Todd did. Very creative, very unique. No Cap shows did these tours. I know all of you remember it. So they had these tiles that you could be on so that you were in the audience, basically, even if you weren't there. And so we did some tile takeovers, and other people did Secret Society, She-Ra. It was just a blast. And then there's a lot of conversation you'll hear tonight about people bringing their pets and showing them to the band while they're performing. So just a lot of fun. It was a great deal. Todd was, as usual, ahead of the curve.
It was, yes. Oh, definitely. And it was, I would say, well, at least in 2021, that's been the highlight of the year, is getting to see Todd perform. What was it? 25 times if you wanted to. It was fantastic. And the only rule, which we were told right here on this show by Chasm and maybe Prairie too, when they were both on, and they did not want us eating on the show. So then nobody ate after that, but they did all kinds of crazy things on those tiles to distract.
Did before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't, if it wasn't virtual, then Todd probably wouldn't have been able to have a big band like he did. And Michelle got to come back like it was Nearly Human and from back in the day. And the set list was outstanding.
It was wonderful. It was fabulous.
Just a great time. So let's get started, Cruiser Mail. Let's get this show on the road. We're going to start with the Clearly Human shows that we did and move on to other things. And we hope you enjoy it. And happy Labor Day weekend to you if you're in the United States. If you're not, happy weekend to you. And cheers.
Cheers.
You're just focused on this. Is good.
Yeah, I'm trying to give this 100%, 110%. I really want to be present in this and enjoy this experience, because it's very rare that first of all, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and in the entertainment industry, is not a lot of this going on. So I want to be grateful and just be present in what's happening right now. And it's so cool. I mean, I'm working with a legend, this is just amazing. So I just need to just be excited about this and just have fun with this,
Well, you got the benefit of, and I don't know a couple of people, but there's not many people that work with Todd that are much nicer than Prairie, Chasm, and Bobby. These are some really fun, nice guys.
They're like my uncles.
Yeah. There we go.
Don't let them hear you say that. They're all a little sensitive.
I don't know. Well, Kaz, I'm borrowing our hairspray. I said, wait a second, Uncle Chasm.
Oh, how funny.
No, I probably call them something. I probably call them Superman or something like that. So yeah. But they're all so sweet and lovable guys.
They're a lot of fun.
That's great. And then finally, I'm going to ask you, it's so boring, but I shouldn't throw
Rock and roll Hall
on
of
it.
Fame.
Exactly. Third time, is it a charm?
Well, I'm sure, if history is any indication, yes, it is the time. It is the charm. I think practically all, if not all, of previous nominees who have been nominated twice and not gotten in, and then nominated a third time, they do get in. So if history is any indication, yes, third time will be the charm.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes.
Oh, that's been, how long has that debate been going on about, he shouldn't appear if he ever gets in or whatever. It's like yawn again. Oh, but I had to ask, some people get very excited about that.
Well, I'm one of the 1,000 industry voters, official voters. So, where my vote went.
Well, good.
Yeah.
So is the hypnosis working on you?
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Totally. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I actually have my own little ritual, I guess. I like to go down to the stage area a few minutes before the show, and I talk with Randy and Paul, and don't get in their way, but I like to watch the back screen and see the city, see the sights, and get into the show. Because it is so much fun. Yeah.
Randy the roadie. We love Randy and Paul too. So that's why the tile takeover we're doing on the 21st with Chi-Ra, the East Coast people are going to have to start at 11 o'clock at night. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how turnout is. But we'll get a lot from the Pacific Northwest and West Coast for sure. But let's go with the surprise here. I was shocked to learn myself. We feel like we know everything about Todd, Michelle, and all that, but we don't. And I need you to help me identify who this blonde hottie is in this photo. And tell me a little bit about this band here and where you are in this. I know where you are, but where you are in this photo, you can tell folks and what this is about.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's a party. I would call it a party band that Michelle and I were in. And it's called Big Bang Beat, and mostly Motown, R&B, party, dance hits, and I want to know what else I can say. Oh God,
So you're the one in the middle with the bow tie.
Yeah, I'm the one in the bow tie.
So does this band? I believe y'all still were performing, or might still be performing. Is that right?
We are still performing. Yeah.
Okay. So is this? Let me see if this is this you? Are you in this photo? That's you right there. It's got to be in the red.
I'm wearing the red suit. You bet.
Yep. So that's the current version, or one of the more recent versions.
It is. Yeah.
And here's another one from that photo shoot. There you are again, looking dapper.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's surprising. What a surprise.
Okay. So even better, Steve. Clayton Call took these photos, by the way. He's a big Todd fan.
Oh,
he did a lot for Second Wind and stuff, and near some of the original Nearly Human thing, stuff like that. So I said, dig me something up good. So I have 4 photos from back in the day. You ready?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
there's one. There's 2. I got this one. And then the one that's going to be everybody's favorite. Ta-da! Was it weird? You're playing guitar and all of a sudden you see Jesse Grass out there playing guitar on the tile?
It was so great. It was great. I was so happy to see that, and we're a little delayed, of course, because of the transit on the internet. So, I was watching Jesse, but of course it's not in sync exactly with us.
No.
But it was so fun
He's not
to
playing it
watch.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to quit looking. Am I doing it wrong or is he doing it wrong? Yeah. So the latency. Okay. I thought about that we're probably all singing off. The lyrics were off by a couple seconds or something.
Usually it depends on people's, home internet connection, but it's usually a second or two off, so it's not like minutes off. It's just a little bit off. You can see that the people are singing the right lyrics, just a little behind it.
Fun stuff.
Vegas.
What was the deal, Chasm, with your shoes on the first show? Did they hurt?
They were brand new patent leather shoes and cheap shoes. I didn't say that. They were killing. Listen, it's hard enough for me standing, straight with a 5-pound or 6-pound guitar on for 2 hours. It's not easy at this old age. My shoulder is kind of hurting. And my feet hurt. So I took my shoes off.
So did the ladies, as I recall.
Yeah.
But you got that all worked out now. I recall during the AWATS tour, you had a shoe problem.
Excuse me?
During the AWATS tour, you had a shoe problem. They didn't show up or something like that. And you were in their socks.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
You have a shoe thing. Okay.
Well, I love a good pair of shoes. I have a closet full of shoes that I don't even wear because I'm afraid to wear them. I'll wear them out.
Not paying somebody off, but they just put me in that front row.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Looking ones in the front row, right?
I don't know.
No, it's great to see your face is there. It's kind of surreal. It just feels like a futuristic dystopia.
There you have it. Yeah. Those. I know you can't. There are people that are live in the audience, and they're. There's.
Yeah, just a few. Yeah.
Just a few. So you do get to say hi or whatever with a certain distance. But what'd you think the other night? I don't remember which show it was, but it was Austin. There were dogs and cats on the screen. Did you guys?
I love that. I love seeing the pets there.
Yeah.
And cool. Todd was like, "Oh yeah, there's some dogs bought tickets to the show." I see.
Backs me up. I'm getting so much. I guess Bruce McDaniel was like, we were in the dressing room and goes, "Dude, somebody started a post about your triangle playing." I thought people were making fun of me or something.
No, we were making.
No, people are taking you seriously. And I was like, because anything that's in my hand, if I'm playing an instrument, I'm serious about it.
Of course.
I mean, I really, really am. I'm not doing it just as a goof or something.
No. Everybody knows that, and
okay, good.
So impressed.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, good. I thought people were laughing at me. I wasn't sure.
No.
People were giving me a hard time in the band for a while, but I think they were doing it lovingly. They were like, "Okay, we need to get a road case for that triangle."
That's great.
I just throw it in my bag when I'm done with it. What a road case.
Okay, so.
Hey everybody, this is Susie Richardson. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for the music of Todd, obviously, and I don't know where I would be in my life without that music. There's certain songs that seem like they've always been there at certain points in my life that just got me over the edge. Songs like Too Far Gone, where I thought I was too far gone, and it was going one way, I was going the other way. Songs like The Icon that just take you a place where you don't know where it is, but you go there. Songs like Compassion and Love Is the Answer, and always coming out with new songs, new music. I feel it keeps me moving, keeps me young. I love that. And for concerts that I've been to, I was lucky enough to go to the New York Utopia show from Moogie when he was sick. I feel like the fans lifted him up. The feeling was just like, I can't even explain how great that was. I'm thankful I was able to go, and that they continued the tour a little bit after that. I've never seen that version of Utopia, so it was really great for me to see that. And Utopia, my favorite band in the whole wide world. Thank you for the 2018 reunion. I did a meet and greet. I got to meet Willie, and I got to meet Todd and Chasm and Gil. And I mean, that was just great. It was Chicago Theater. It was just electric. So I was like 20 years old again. So thank you for that. And the great people that I've met through the Todd community. There's people like Ruth that send you these wonderful cards. My little Chicago people, every time we get together, we always have a great time. The Susan and Dan who took me to Toddstock, let me stay a whole week in their camper, drove me down there. They didn't know me that well. Who does things like that? So I'm really thankful that I've met so many great people. It is a community. We kind of support each other. If somebody's down, we try to cheer them up through the loss of their pets, their family. People need money, they're down on their luck. All the songs that Todd sings about, seems like we kind of adhere to that, and we live by that. And I'm glad to be a part of that group. So thank you. And thank you to all my friends that I've met through Todd. I hope to see you again. Rundgren Radio, you give great party, great cake, great swag. You brought the group together. I always look forward to seeing everybody. You walk in not knowing a soul, and you leave knowing a bunch of great people. And it's all because of Todd and his lovely wife, Michelle. And I'm very happy that so late in my life I found such great people through his music. And I know that Todd will always be there for me, and his music will always do something for me that I think only you guys understand. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for listening to me. I'm sure I sounded very stupid. And I hope to see you guys again. I really miss everybody.
They tore down Utopia sound. They know not what they do. But good little boys on a hollow ground. I can't take it, but I have to. But that's okay. We still got you, and you are our gypsy bodhisattva. It's another trip around the holy synthesizer. Look at you. Happy birthday on your island. Hope Michelle is laughing by your side with crispy duck and shroom. Oh, 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 crispy duck and shroom.
Love. Oops. Love. Love unrequited robs me of my rest. Love, hopeless love, my heart and soul encumbered. Love, nightmare like, lies heavy on me chest and weaves itself into my midnight love. Lying awake with the dismal headache, proposes to move my anxiety. I can see you make it any night with your tools to indulge without you. Your brain's on fire, the power's off. It's been you. It's powdery gun. Uncovered your toes, your teeth, and the dirty mother you. You don't know anything about it. It's your balls and your hooks, so I slit your tooth. You and the TV. Well, the pickles will creep to the ground in a heap, and you pick them all up in a tangle. The next pillow resides to put life in the angle. Well, if you can't stand, so go up your hand and you find you're as cold as an icicle. And you're certain your socks are like someone's go backwards because it's all going playing on a bicycle. And he even through with bicycle too. But this somehow or other invested in. And he's selling guitars to the particulars of a company he's interested in. There's a scheme of devices we get at all prices. Of the new top mixing the cables. With single sandwich by drinking retailers. That's all they were all interested in. And the land of it. And the boots for the boots. free. It's like we'll take root and its fingers will shoot. They'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. Oh, the creek was a tree. Tree mineral beds, no above 3 quarters of cranberries. The sheds are plenty and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Baring. And just as the few are allowed to you away. With a shudder despair. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck. And now why do you snore for your heads on the floor? Your needles a pinch from your soul to your shins. Your flesh is a creep for your left leg to sleep. A cramp in your tongue and a fly in your nose. And a block when you're lung and a feverish lung and a thirst is intense in the general sense that you haven't been sleeping in clover. Darkness is fast and it's daylight at last, and the night has been long. You know my song, and thank goodness they're both of them
Mood altered state, take 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. misery. In a world full of sorrow. In a world full of misery. In a world full of sorrow. Why should we be happy? Tell me, why should we be happy? Why should we be happy? Why should we be happy? We need a message. We need a message. We need a message from above. We need a message. We need a message from above. Look over there. Look over there. Look over here. Look over there. Look over here. Look over there. Look over here. I can see it. There is beauty in the world. There is beauty.
All right, Todd fans, we're back.
Hey.
Labor Day Weekend Party, night number 2. Joey Bruno is in the house.
Hi, Mel. Hi, Doug.
How's it going on, man?
Love you guys.
So nice to
Who doesn't?
It's good to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes,
you
sir.
too? In person?
Kind of.
Maybe one day. Yeah.
Sure.
We are you going to go to Cincinnati by chance?
No, I'm limited in terms of what I can travel. I'm going to be hitting both shows here in Philly at the Fillmore on the 11th and 12th of October.
Outstanding.
So I'm really looking forward to it, and hoping that everything's going to go well with what's going on.
Yes, we hope the tour happens. We want to do a Nazz gig up there sometime like we did in Cincinnati a couple years ago. So
yeah, well, I have that in my library. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because, Stookie, I was at the Be-In when Todd was here in Philly, and he did the Be-In, which was a big thing here in Philly. It was a hippie thing in the 70s. But, of course, Todd did it in 88. And I'm just standing there watching the show, and I turn around, and it's Stookie standing behind me. We talked for like 5-10 minutes, continued watching the show, and now I'm Facebook friends with him, of course. But he just posted last night, as a matter of fact. We had a huge storm here last night. And he posted that he was in the middle of a tornado.
Oh,
and all I could say was, you were under the ice, pal.
Man.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So anything you might like to ask me about it, I'm ready for you to ask.
You're ready. You're a dictionary, man, or an encyclopedia of information, maybe. So, we really want to know mainly about you and your Todd story, when you discovered Todd, how long ago that was and how it happened.
Okay. That's pretty good thing to start on. So 1968, I had already been into, since I was 6 in 64, the Beatles, Stones, all the usual suspects, a lot of British invasion stuff. And then comes 1968, and I heard Open My Eyes on the radio. And I knew immediately that was something I was going to really like. Went to my local department store up the street from me, and I found the single, brought it home, and that was it. I bought the album. Then I bought Nazz, and at the time also I was studying to play drums. So I was going to an instructor, and I heard Under the Ice. Tom Mooney just blew my mind. I mean, I had never heard drumming like that in my life. And literally that was the moment when I heard Under the Ice, was the moment I knew that I was going to be playing drums as a career. So, which I did. And I retired basically in around 2002. But I'm telling you, I could literally pinpoint the moment when I heard Tom Mooney on Under the Ice. So that's one little aside there. So, time goes on, and we have Runt. I'm there, all the way through up to where I guess at that point at Wizard. And of course, I sent my postcard in. I'm on the poster on the Todd album, as all good fans should be, and or old fans.
Old fans, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
So what happens is, here's an interesting story. So in 74, Utopia comes to, and now the Todd Rundgren's Utopia album had been released, the Eyes album. And so he's playing the Tower Theater. And I go to the show early because at the time I was kind of like I was getting backstage and meeting a lot of, and I was only 14, but for some reason I had an in. I would always usually go for the drummers, being a drummer. And I was able to write music manuscript out for drums. So I would usually, if I saw a band coming that I liked, I would take one of their most complicated songs, write it out in manuscript, and then either go to the hotel or find a stage tech or somebody and tell them I would like to present this to them. And I would usually get in. So that always worked.
That's clever.
Yeah. I mean, I spent like a whole afternoon, like 5 hours with Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer one day. A whole day with Phil Ehart from Kansas, all these drummers, I idolized them all. But getting back to Todd, so I went early. I went around the back entrance, which they had been using instead of the normal backstage entrance I had noticed lately. And I took my scrapbook with me, which at the time was already about 4 inches thick. I mean, I had been collecting every article, every photo. I was getting all the English press too, all the Melody Maker, and I had the John Lennon back and forth thing, that they did in Melody Maker or New Musical Express, whichever one it was. I even had, and I don't know why at the last minute I threw it in there, BB's Playboy spread, her centerfold spread. So that was in there. I don't know why. It was just part of the whole thing. So I figured, well, let me just throw it in. So I'm back there, and all of a sudden, here comes Todd and BB. and BB, right? Never knowing that she was going to be with him. So he's coming towards me. I approach him, and he's his usual self, being Mr., so nice. We love him for that. And I said, Todd, I have some stuff here. I would love it if you would autograph a few of my photos. And I took it out, and he looked at it, and he goes, whew, he says, you're really doing your homework, and I looked at him, and I said, yeah, I've been collecting for a while now. And he's like, no problem, sure. So he wound up signing I think 10 different photos or different things I had in there. And I had also previously to that, around the corner was a store called The Balcony. It was a head shop boutique, and they were because right on 69th Street in Upper Darby, Todd's home. So I had gone there and purchased they used to sell these little pens. It looked like a lollipop, but it was a pen, and it would have a name in the lollipop part in the circle. So I bought a Todd lollipop pen, and I had that too. So I give him that, and him and BB cracked up. They thought it was hilarious. And so then I start pulling the pictures out, and then I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And I pulled out the BB centerfold stuff. I said, would you sign this? And I asked her nicely, respectfully. I was very embarrassed too, because they're naked.
Well,
some of them.
She's naked.
Joey. Hold on, Joey. You were 14.
But there are
Playboy.
Yeah, there are some Todd pictures actually in the centerfold. Them walking down. I think he was playing maybe Central Park or something, and her wearing the Todd. I have it in my library, in my photo library. Her wearing the Todd shirt, pulling it down, so you kind of can't see her privates.
Were you 14?
I was 14. Yeah.
Playboy.
You had a Playboy. Shame
Bad
on you.
boy.
Well,
Bad
here's
boy.
the thing. I used to go to this magazine shop in the center of Philadelphia that had back issues. When a month would go by, they would get last month's magazines, and that's where I got all my rock magazines because they were cheaper. And I had heard that she was in there, so I actually went and looked for it, and they gave me no problem.
Nice.
I bought it. They took it to the counter with all the rest of the magazines, and they just put it in the bag. So I lucked out.
Okay, so what did BB say?
So first of all, they both cracked up laughing. I mean, they thought it was so hilarious that this little 14-year-old kid is pulling out her Playboy centerfold, and they both signed it. So that was fantastic.
That's a great collector's item right there.
Yeah. And, well, here's the bummer part. About in 2004, I was in the process of moving. I had boxed up everything, all my personal stuff, but then all my memorabilia, all my CDs, all my vinyl, everything. I had to go out for a long day and night. I hadn't gotten back. I wasn't due back till about midnight. Came back. My apartment had been broken into, and I guess they were not very discriminate about what they took, so they just grabbed things.
Oh.
It was all boxed. So it was boxed and sealed with tape. So I'm assuming they just didn't want to deal with it, and they just loaded it out. So unfortunately, I lost every single piece of Todd and everybody else. I had, as I said earlier, I was meeting everybody back then. I had Mick Ronson I had hung out with, and Jeff Beck and Bill Bruford. I mean, it was incredible what they took from me, and all my discs, of course, all my rare stuff that I had, my vinyl. So we won't go any further with that. I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah, not cool.
It was distressing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've since then, I don't know if you can see behind me, I have pretty much got my collection back on track. I got about 90 pieces here.
Good
Not
job.
as much as, some of you guys out there. I still need about 50 more, I think, to make it complete. But so here's what happened. So that was in August of 74. Now, skip ahead a year, it's August of 75. Utopia is now playing in Ambler, Pennsylvania at the Temple University Music Festival. And it was basically a tent. It was just like an outdoor gig, but with this giant tent in the middle of this beautiful sprawling ground. And I, again, arrived early, and I went over and I peeked into the tent. I'm looking at the stage set. And, of course, this was really a little quick aside. I am a huge Kevin Ellman fan. I mean, as a drummer, Kevin Ellman was such an inspiration to me from the minute I heard him. Somehow, I did not hear the news that Kevin Ellman had left Utopia. So I peeked in, and the first thing I see is a drum set that is definitely not Kevin Ellman's, because he had a kind of an elaborate set, and I'm seeing this very small, tiny drum kit. And I'm like, that is not Kevin Ellman's drum kit. Who the heck is playing drums? Of course, I found out it was the great Willie Wilcox, who is also an inspiration, like I can't tell you. So I'm just milling around, and I go to look over this one little hill here, grassy like knoll, and Todd's just sitting there by himself, just hanging out. I'm thinking, should I? You know how you get with that, especially now. I would have been 15, so I said, I'm doing it. So I just slowly approached, nice and respectful and carefully, and I said, "Hi, Todd." I said, "What are you doing? Just hanging out?" Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, and I will never forget it for as long as I live. Now, this is a year later. They're doing heavy touring. He's meeting people left and right. We all know how it is, the touring life. You can't remember from one second to the next. He looked up at me, and in the God's honest truth, he looked up and just said, "Hey, it's you. You still doing your homework?" Nobody.
Awesome.
He actually remembered me from that side stage door at the tower, literally a year, almost to the day. It was like 3 days off from being to the day.
So you must still look the same. I bet you're probably one of the few people that's asked him to sign BB's nude photos.
That might have been that might have actually been the kicker there for him to remember. Yeah.
Who knows?
And then he said, he just invited, he's like, well, sit down. And we talked for, I didn't want to, I know the protocol, after meeting so many of them, you don't want to outlast your welcome, So we hung out for about 10 or 15 minutes. And we just, we BS'd about, not even all about music, very little about music, because I know that too. Usually these guys, they don't want to sit and, oh man, that song, and how did you do that? I didn't go there. I would love to, but I didn't. So yeah. How did you get that sound on Treaties? That one at the 1303 mark. But yeah, we didn't do that. So we just talked about like life stuff. I was so excited, especially when you're that young and you meet these rock idols of yours, and you're a musician yourself. You're overwhelmed. I mean, I honestly, to tell you, if I think back to it, it was almost like it was a blur, because I couldn't even believe it. I was sitting there just BSing with Todd Rundgren on a grassy knoll
in
Ambler, Pennsylvania. So that's my story with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And have you seen a whole lot of? He certainly comes through the Philly area very often. So have you pretty much made a point to see as many as you can?
Oh yeah, I think at my last count, I think I've been to somewhere between 30 and 35 shows total.
That's where I was going next.
Yeah, a lot of odd places. Utopia played the Philadelphia Zoo, literally in the middle of the zoo, with the animals just howling, and elephants, and it was incredible. I saw him at Great Adventure one time in New Jersey. That was a Utopia show. There's a few notable shows that I did miss. I missed, regrettably, I missed the a cappella, the 11 voice orchestra, which played here at the Walnut Street Theater, which is the oldest theater in America, basically, which would have been really incredible due to unforeseen circumstances. And I missed he did that New Year's Eve show here at the place called the Painted Bride.
Oh yeah, that was
the
ours.
Surprise show. Yeah. And I missed that. And I also, and this is really crazy, I had tickets for Up Against It, and I couldn't go. I literally had the tickets in that memorabilia that got stolen. Me and my wife at the time, we both had tickets, and something came up last minute, and we couldn't make the trek to New York from Philly, and we literally had to forfeit going to the show. So those three, they're killers, all three of them.
Painted Bride, you probably didn't know about it until after it happened. It was so secret, kind of.
Yeah.
It was a private party. It was.
Yeah, actually, I will tell you the truth. I don't think I do remember hearing about it, because it was 2008, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2008. Yeah, I was kind of in a bad place personally that year, so I probably wasn't really, on point with a lot of what was going on in the world of our, Todd situation. But So those three, yeah. I'm trying to think now. I also saw him. If you remember the tour he did where he was just solo, but he had the videos behind him, he had the screen behind him. Like he would do this, he played the Time Heals video, and but then he had the piano and the acoustic guitar and a little bit of electric guitar too. He would switch off, but it was a completely solo show. I think it would have been around like mid 80s or later 80s, somewhere in there. And a little bit of a funny story there too. It was like deep snow. It had to be like 2 feet of snow. So I don't know what I was thinking. I went around the back from the backstage door, and he came out, but it was one of those typical, bums rush out the door into the car, snow all over the ground. And after they got in the car, I approached the window and I'm like, Todd. And he just looked at me like he didn't remember 75. He looked at me like, you would like look at the limo driver and go, get out of here, roll. And they peeled out that. It was this little tiny alley. It wasn't even a street. It was like an alley. And I, in the snow, like an idiot, chased the car for about 50 feet. And with him doing this the whole time, looking back like, go. This dude's nuts. So that did not go as well as the two previous.
14 to 17 were better stories, better age. Right,
I was the guy with the centerfold.
I think I was yelling that. I was so desperate. Yeah.
You try anything. All right, well, Joey, we appreciate it, man. It's good to hear your Todd story, and we'll see you on Facebook and all that good stuff.
Oh, you got it. I'll see you guys over at Rundgren Radio and Rundgren Video Vision.
That's it.
Tops. The tops. I only aspire to be where you two are.
So great to talk with you.
Here you are.
You too.
Now. There you go. So you
Thanks
got
a lot, guys. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
2 Facebook pages.
I got 2 Todd groups right now.
Yeah.
The group I just started is a private group. You can't post on it, but in other words, it's an archive page. I call it T-Archives.
Mm-hmm.
And I just basically come from my library. My library of Todd stuff. Now, of course, it's not all. It's uploads, and it's from various places. Some of my own stuff that I've uploaded too. But I have literally probably 2,000, 3,000 pieces of content, So it's basically just me posting the most rare, hard to find things you don't see, on a daily basis. So that's that one. And then, of course, the other group is a normal, regular group like we all have.
Gotcha. Fun stuff. All right, man. We'll see you there. All right, folks, we have Kevin Ellman with us from Todd Rundgren's Utopia and multiple other bands, including a new one that we're going to talk about tonight. We want to just check in with you, Kevin. First of all, I got to say, you look more business today than a rock and roller. The haircut, it's throwing me off.
Yeah, the haircut is definitely more business. But I didn't put the tie on. I took the tie off for you.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, last time we saw you, we had on the one of the wine shows. Yeah, your hair was real long. So
it got long enough to get a ponytail, but then I just got too scraggly, so I decided to trim it back.
Gotcha. A lot of people are doing that, for COVID quarantine anyway. They want to go get a haircut. So anyway.
I actually gave myself a haircut, but then it looked so bad that I had to go get a professional haircut.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the hard part back here. That's the hard part.
I would think so.
Got to get you a flow bee.
Actually, I got one of those things and I tried it, but it didn't seem to work for me that well.
Doesn't work. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. All right. Well, what's going on with you, man? We want to check in. You all just had a big storm over there. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, Hurricane Ida came through. We're in the New Jersey, New York area, and there's a lot of flooding. So New York City had flooding. The lower parts of New Jersey got flooding. Up here, we just had a lot of trees down. So my street was blocked for a while, and I worry that a tree's going to fall on my house. Fortunately, nothing did. But that's the big worry where we live. The trees come down.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, I'm glad you guys are okay, and
yes,
don't no damage or anything.
No damage. Everybody's good. And then, the last hurricane, I guess it was Floyd. We were out of power for like 2 weeks, so we decided to finally get a generator. So now we're.
So is it on now? You're using it now?
No, it was on a little bit the other day when because every time there's a storm, when the trees fall down, it knocks out the power. So we decided finally to get a generator, and frankly, it's the best purchase I ever made.
It's a good investment, no doubt.
Yeah. I see what you did there, Doug.
Yep. So you're just back to work and doing your things, things back to normal. You staying inside mostly, or?
Well, it's not back to normal. In last March, not this March, but the previous March, I closed my office. I sent everybody home, and we've been working basically at home since then. And since we're in the money management business, I mean, we do everything by phone mostly anyway, and nobody really wants to come into the office for a meeting. So I spend every day on Zoom. So I call my clients every day, call my staff every day, call the people I work with business wise, and it's all Zoom. And it's amazing that it works. It actually works.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that now. It's a big change. I got to give you props, give you credit, because we asked you on the wine show way back last year, should people stay in the market? And your answer was yes, and your answer was correct.
Yeah.
People are very happy they stayed in the market. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you did well on that one. So, all right. Well, we want to hear a little bit about Back to the Bars. Kevin Ellman and Siegler with JPO over at Daryl's in Pauling, New York. Hottie's is the hotel, folks. If you're going to go spend the night there, if you got to get it fast because it'll sell out. But give us the scoop.
So first of all, I've been practicing. I'm at home, so I'm practicing a lot. So my playing is as good as it's ever been. I feel really good about my playing, and I like to. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I'm more musical than I used to be. So I'm happy about that. And then, John Pohita called me. We call him J-Po.
Mm-hmm.
You may recall we did the band in Akron.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, why don't we get together and play? I said, well, I'd love to play. So he says, well, maybe you can get John Siegler and we can do something. So I called John and he said, yeah, he's open-minded. And it was actually J-Po's idea to do kind of a retrospective, not just of Todd, but music from all the different people we played with. So we're doing some Todd songs. We're doing some Bette Midler songs, because both John and I were Bette Midler at one time. We're doing some Hall & Oates songs, because John was big with Hall & Oates, and Roger Daltrey, and then also Richie Havens. So it's going to be probably mostly Todd, but some Bette Midler, some Richie Havens, some Hall & Oates, and some Roger Daltrey.
So when is this show? I can't remember. I need to write this down because I might need to get there.
Sunday, December 19th at Daryl's house in Pauling, New York.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah. It's a great place.
I haven't been there yet. I've seen just pictures online. It looks like a cool place.
That's a great place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great place. J-Po's a big Hall & Oates fan, so he don't let him fool you on that one.
All right. Well, he didn't mention that yet, but
yeah.
Looking for it. But it's going to be kind of like it's because he's up in Boston. I'm in New Jersey. John is actually fairly near the club. He's in Westchester. And then the other two fellows that are going to be playing, one on guitar and one on keyboard, they're both Berkeley grads up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to, we're coordinating some rehearsals in between.
Mm-hmm.
And actually I have to be in Boston for some business. So we're going to rehearse up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The music's great. And if people like it and everybody, rocks out, then we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, we've seen the guys from Boston. They're in the Hermits of Mink Halloween, J-Po's Todd, Utopia tribute band, and Peter Moore, and Andy's great too. Peter Moore, we've seen him a lot. We really love him. You're going to like him a lot. And they're good guys, and they're great rhythm set. Well, not really rhythm set. Great band for you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a great show.
And I guess they're familiar with the tune, so that helps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but now they're going to have Kevin and John kicking their butts, so
they got to step it up a notch. But we started the show tonight with the song "Friends." Got to have friends from Bette Midler, and I was curious if you remember who the drummer was for that song.
Well, I was the drummer. What's interesting is that Moogie Klingman, who was big with Todd.
Yep.
And Buzzy Linhart wrote that song, and they wrote it, and actually Bet was the first one to record it. So I recorded it with Bet, and then I recorded it with Barry Manilow, and then I also played it with Buzzy Linhart when I was in the Buzzy Linhart band, and then I also played it with Moogie. So it's kind of like the one song that kind of tied all of us together.
Yeah.
And it's funny because listening to it now and playing along with it, I was like 20 at the time.
Wow.
And I have to say that it stands up to scrutiny. It sounds pretty good.
Yes, it's a great one. We're playing it here in 2021. People loved it. I don't think I've heard the Barry Manilow version. I found Buzzy's and Moogie's online when I was looking for bets, but I'll have to check that one out. Is that recorded or was it just?
It's recorded. Yeah, it was on. I think it was on the Barry Manilow Greatest Hits album.
Which version? Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe do you have a favorite between the?
I like the Bet version. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the one.
It swings hard, and she sings it great, and we played it. I played it every day for a year, so I really lived that song. So
yeah.
Well, I hope we'll hear that in December then.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the songs for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. Moogie was proud of that song and had a good reason to be.
Yeah, it was a great song. He was a pretty good songwriter. Wrote a lot of cool tunes, and he actually, he was like a connector. He introduced me to my wife. He introduced me to Bet. He introduced me to Buzzy. He introduced me to Todd. So like my whole music thing was all connected to Moogie and that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for Moogie, I would have never met John or any of these guys. So
Moogie, when we had him early on Rundgren Radio back in the day, he would name drop a lot, but they were all legit. Like he had set these people up and these people up and this band and that band and played with this band, that band. He was something.
All of it's true. All of it's true.
Yeah, we miss Moogie. He was a lot of fun. All right, well, good deal, man. We appreciate the check-in. If you got anything else you want to let us know before we head out, and we hope you stay safe and dry over there.
Well, that's about it. I just hope to see lots of people come out for the show, and if it goes well, we're going to take the band on the road. So there it is.
Oh, really? Okay, that's going to be fun. That'll be great. But just in case they don't, you better head to Pawling, New York, if it's not snowing too much. That is a fun venue, though. I can vouch for that. I've been. See Chasm Sultan's Utopia played there, and it's Hottie's is a fun hotel if the fans take over. It's right down the road, and it's a small little town, but it's a good place. So I'm glad you got to play there, and we'll hope to see you there.
Hope to see you then too. All right, thanks for having me on, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, great. All right,
take care. Hey, everybody. Look who's here. We've got Al Cannon with the Todd Rundgren Music Channel.
Hi, Nell.
Hey, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Good. Hope you are.
Yes, just fine and dandy.
Excellent.
So, as part of our celebration this weekend, we're interviewing a few fans in the community about how they happened to even find out who Todd Rundgren was in the first place. And we want to just start there, and then let's see where we go from there.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'll flash back to 1970 with "We Got to Get You a Woman," and I remember that being on a local radio station, and I really liked it. So, as a kid, I was like, I'm 9 years old then, or 10, and I went out and I got the single for like 40 cents or 45 cents, whatever that was, and so I still didn't really connect with the Todd deal, but I'll fast forward up to about 1972, and "Hello, It's Me" comes out, and I remember hearing that on Casey Kasem's AT40, and I really liked that. So, I got that single, but I didn't have enough money for an album, or probably didn't really think about it. But then comes Wolfman Jack. So as you can imagine, I'm a kid. I'm like 12 years old. I'm in North Carolina listening to Wolfman Jack on NBC in New York. And,
you're talking about the actual disc jockey, not the song.
I'm listening to Wolfman Jack on NBC, and because I just had this fascination with radio, and he was funny, and so I was listening to the show. And one night he played a commercial for Something Anything, and originally I thought that it was him talking live because he did it like it was a live commercial.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
But the next night I wanted to record it. So I wanted to record that commercial, and I did the next night. I got it on tape of him doing a commercial for, and the reason I wanted the commercial is because he was playing the song Wolfman Jack in the commercial. I had to have that record. So I went out and I bought the album, and put my headphones on and listened to the album, and I was hooked from there. So that's kind of how it happened. And
So you were about 12 or so at that point?
I was
13?
12 going on 13. And as you can imagine, I was sitting there in my room with my headphones on, and I put on side one and listened to it. And when he got to the part where he said, you know, you better get your headphones out, you know, I was like, well, cool. I've already got mine on. You know, so
yeah, you were a cool kid, apparently.
So it was pretty neat. It was a Sunday afternoon after church, and you know, Dad took us to the store, and I bought the album, and I came home, and I'm listening to the album, and then I had to have he tagged it with A Wizard of True Star that was also out. So then, of course, next week I had to go buy AWATS, and I got that, and then so it was just on and on and on. Every time an album came out, it's the kind of thing you buy it sight unseen, and all the way up through. So I was just kind of hooked off that first image of me sitting in the chair listening to Wolfman Jack playing Wolfman Jack on NBC, and so yeah, had to have that song. So
I'm going to assume that once you found out he was coming to a town near you or to your town, were you old enough? I mean, did they let you go see him in person?
no, he didn't come to North Carolina very much, and I don't really remember him coming at all, really. If it did, I didn't hear about it. So I was 22, 21 going on 22. The first time I actually got a chance to go see him, and I went to see Utopia at the Dr. Pepper Music Festival in New York City in '82, that summer, that I was turning 22. So that's the first time I saw him. And then after that, he did come a couple of times. So I did see him here in North Carolina in '83, I think he played. And then again in '89. So it was a long time between, and then it didn't get any easier in the '90s. I only had a couple of chances to see him in the '90s on it was probably the Nearly Human tour.
A good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so it was really, it was the Utopia album in '82, the Healing show that was supposed to be sort of the Healing tour, but it wasn't really. It was more of a montage kind of variety set in '83. And it was the show that, if you've ever seen that album, For the Love of Todd, it's a compilation tribute album. It has a ticket stub on the front of that CD. So that's the show. It was in Chapel Hill.
Right.
That's the show I went to. And it was with the producers and Todd, and U2 was the opening act for Todd, which was pretty cool.
Can you imagine? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so and the sad thing was that by the time Todd came on, the rain was so heavy, most people left. There were only a couple of hundred people that stayed to see Todd, but we were the true fans, I guess. So
yes.
So that was a crazy day. In March, it was cold and raining, but we didn't care. So we braved the storm and saw the show.
Yeah. So have you ever gotten to meet Todd?
Yeah, a couple of times. I told a crazy story about going up to New York to see the New Car show, the last show of the tour. And I was at the Raleigh-Durham International Airport, and I was sitting there waiting to go to the gate, and lo and behold, Todd and Michelle walked by where I was sitting down like in a subway or something. And I saw them walking by, and I knew the gate was down there and there was nowhere else they could go. It was a cul-de-sac. So I finished up my meal and I walked down there, and they were sitting at the gate, and we happened to be on the same flight. So that was pretty cool. And I didn't bother him too much, but he was talking to a couple of people. Most people didn't know who he was. But I spoke to him and Michelle, and I got some pictures, and they were very gracious. And I got an autograph on my ticket stub for the show that night. And that was the first time I think I actually met him and talked to him. I did see him at the the a cappella show in '85 up in Norfolk, Virginia. But I just said hello. He was just in passing. He was going to his car, after the sound check, and I just said hello and he waved, and that was kind of just a passing thing. I was just waiting to go inside. But so and then there were other times, thanks to you and Doug, that you brought some shows in, and there were meet and greets attached to those, and I met him once or twice there during a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. So how's the Todd Rundgren music channel? You got anything new going on there?
Not really. It's rolling along. It kind of lives in itself most of the time. And with the COVID thing, there hasn't been a lot to do, and so I got a little less motivated recently to do anything with it. But I think with the tour coming up, maybe I'll get a spark of life and try to do some other things.
Yeah.
Some specials with that. But it's been kind of hard in this, with work and really the whole down bummer thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, you do good.
I need inspiration, so.
Well, you do a real fine job with it, and I like that you branch out further than just Todd or Utopia. I mean, you play John Pohida, and I mean. It's fabulous.
It's
fabulous.
In fact, I got a text from John this morning. He's turned me on to his new album that I've been playing some cuts from, but probably in lesser quality. So he's offered that to me. So I'll be putting on the real deal coming up for the weekend, and maybe get a chance to get some comments from him and put something else together. He's fun guy. He's really gracious and real neat to talk to. So, and his music speaks for itself. It's really good stuff.
It is, and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks for dropping by the party, and wish you well, and we will talk again soon.
Great. Thanks, Mel. Take care.
Hey, Rundgren Radio. Good evening. Here's a song from the new Astral Drive album, and the song is called I Can Dream. I may never walk on the moon or dance like Fred Astaire. I may never sing in tune, but I hear Marvin in my head. I may never fly to the stars or in the Tour de France, but as long as I have high hopes, I can be just who I am. I can dream. I can dream. When the whole world makes me scream, I can be whatever I want to be. Ooh, yeah, I can dream. Ain't life like Mission Impossible? What's your plans going up in smoke? But if there's a cause worth fighting for, well, I just won't give up hope. I can dream. Yeah, I can dream. When the whole world makes me scream, I can dream. I can dream. Yeah, yeah. When the whole world makes me scream, I'll be whatever I want to be. See the heaven that I want to see. No, I'll never let them get to me. Ooh,
Have a really great evening and have a great party. To all at Rundgren Radio and all my friends out there, thanks for the support. And I hope you enjoy your evening. Bye!
Hey, everybody. Tonight we've got Stacy Katsus with us. Hey.
Hey, how are you? And everyone else?
Well, I'm doing okay. Thanks for joining us tonight. As you notice, I've got a picture of your town behind me. Yes. Yep. Yeah. So, Stacy, we've known you for a long, long time. But I don't know if any of us know your Todd story as being a fan of Todd's. How did you ever come to know who this guy was?
Well, if memory serves right, I think Fiona and I were watching some local show back in the 70s, and they were showing videos of new artists coming on the scene, and Open My Eyes came on, and I was like, who are these guys? They're kind of cool looking, and they sound pretty good, and so that was the start of it. Ran out, bought the Nazz album, and been following Todd ever since.
Oh, you go way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you buy the record after seeing that video?
We did. Actually, Fiona went out and bought it. She's the biggest instigator of all the music around here, I think. And she was like, hey, you got to listen to this. This is really good. And so, yeah.
Good for her. So you guys are really, almost every sense of the word, you are truly, twin sisters, because y'all really think and do a lot of things alike. Did y'all go to your first Todd show live together?
We did. And actually, it was all because of that show that I got into taking pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were like, I mean, we had been to some other shows before that, but all of a sudden it was like, okay, we got to try to save this somehow. Maybe we should go buy a camera. And not just any stupid camera. Let's go buy a 35mm camera. And so didn't know how to use it or anything. Took it to that first show. Got some crazy little good pictures. Didn't know too much about taking anything. But from there I went on to just camera and shoot shows and whatever.
So that actually got you started on. I know you photograph lots of performers.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that got me into my whole love of the camera, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, that's really neat, because I know I've seen a lot of your pictures, of course, of Todd, but of other artists. You do a beautiful job. You really do.
Thanks.
Yeah. So did you have you ever met Todd, and do you have any funny stories about talking to Todd?
I've met Todd quite a few times, actually. He's once or twice. I mean, sometimes he remembers my name. Lots of times he just calls you the twins. Or I remember one time we were at a signing somewhere, and he and the person at I think it was a bookstore, and the person was giving him a hard time about taking too long signing for people, and then he was like, okay, well, I'll move along, and then people kept asking if they could get a picture with him, and they were like, no, we didn't plan for pictures, we don't have anyone, and he just said, the paparazzi's right over there, and he just motioned. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what funny stories I might have, but I've met him quite a few times.
But you've gotten to cross paths with him quite a bit, just right there in and around Chicago town, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But you've started traveling too.
Yeah, I really didn't travel too. I mean, I went to shows in Wisconsin and Indiana, but I really didn't travel far until you guys kind of came along.
Yay!
And yeah, it was right because honestly, with you guys, I got to meet, and because of Todd too, so many nice people who have become really good friends. And it's been just one of the best things ever about being a Todd fan.
Isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you happened to be watching TV that night and you've stuck with Todd through thick and thin, because I know I really enjoy talking with you and your sister. And yeah, it just, oh, the cockles of my heart. Stacy, when are we going to see you in person?
Well, I'm coming to Cincinnati. Are you going to be in Cincinnati?
You bet.
I'm going to be there, so you'll see me. The Ellman won't be there because it's getting close to surgery, but I'll be there.
Yeah, well, take some pictures and show them to her.
No.
Terrible. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Anyways.
Live stream from there or something.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you on the road, huh?
We will, with the Scotty.
Oh, good. Good. Good night.
Okay, bye now.
Hi, fans. We got Michael Redman here all the way from Oakland, California.
Yeah, West Coast, baby.
That's right. West Coaster. Originally, though, from Ohio. C-Bus. So our third Columbus guest of this show, because we had Jim and Donna from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's bring in Michael Redman. What's up?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Doug. Hi, Mel. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, Rundgren Radio.
Labor Day weekend. Got a 3-day, is it 3-day weekend? That's right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So.
Nice. All right. Very good. So, Michael, you're and you probably will find out when we hear your Todd story how long you've been around, but you're newer to the scene, I would say. Busted on about the time the Utopia tour was going on. The Todd Rundgren's Utopia was the first time I'd heard of you, met you. Right?
That's true. Well, sort of. But first, thanks for asking me to share my story with you guys, especially on Labor Day weekend. It's a special weekend for Rundgren Radio. It goes back, 14 years, I think.
14 years. Yeah, we're heading into 15. Yes, sir.
Correctamundo.
Now, I dipped my toe in a couple Rundgren Radio events before this last Utopia tour, but a little shy, a little too nervous to go into the party and not knowing anybody, hang out.
I remember you helping a lot with the show, one of the ones we did in Cleveland.
Yeah, and even before that, there was a show in Akron. I can't remember what it was. It might have been. I don't think it was the was it a True Star tour?
Orchestra or something?
Todd Healing.
I did that.
Icon.
It could have been. I can't remember. But you had a party at the hotel. I looked in the door and then chickened out.
Oh, that is too bad.
Are you serious? You're that shy? You were.
Maybe I was at one time. So
you're not anymore, man.
Okay.
No doubt about it. Everybody knows who Michael Redman is these days. All right. So tell us, during your shy years, when you discovered Todd, his music, how long ago was that? How old were you? That kind of thing.
Okay, so it goes back to, I guess, 1975.
Wow.
My best friend's older brother, I'll give out to Mike Darby and his older brother, Jim Darby, that not there in Rundgren Radio, but maybe a couple people might know him of them. But Jim Darby had gone with his dad to a police auction, and came back with a handful of albums. And one of them had this eyeball in the middle of it and these circles or planets around it. And we got stoned and listened to the Icon. And I think I was hooked ever since then. So, we played that album over and over and over again. And, we probably used it to de-seed some of that really good fine marijuana from Mexico back in 1975, 76.
75. Those days are gone though for Michael Redman, I understand.
They are. They are. I've cleaned my act up a little bit.
Unless accidents happen.
Yeah, there might have been a cookie incident involved.
Wait, let's back up. You got this album from a police auction?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, when police would go, I don't know, discover or confiscate like stolen stuff that was stolen, they put it up for auction, bicycles and stuff, and Jim got some albums. So, and that started.
Had stolen Utopia albums.
Yeah, I mean, at least the thieves had good taste.
They had good taste. Exactly where I was going with that.
And they brought you into the Todd Rundgren Utopia fold. So
Yeah.
perfect. Very nice.
And I can remember listening on Sunday mornings. They used to do a broadcast of a new album. What was it? I can't think of the name of the radio station back then. But anyway, listen to the Faithful album come out. They played it all on one Sunday morning, excuse me. I think I cut church and decided to listen to the album instead of going to church. You know, I was off. I didn't have to be an altar boy that day. So
Yeah. I don't know if they made it all the way to Columbus, but the WMMS, the Buzzard, was that the station?
No, that's up in Cleveland.
Cleveland, so I didn't make it all the way to Columbus. Okay. For my time.
QFM.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so
At least
someone
we got there.
someone will know. But and then my first concert was the Raw tour, and I think this was it was originally scheduled for 1976 and got postponed for some reason, and then I think it was March of '77, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And you know, just an incredible show, and I can remember, you know, at the end listening to Singring's guitar, you know, what's oh my gosh, here I am, horrible.
Singing bass guitar.
Yeah, but you know, you've got the water up around Willie's drums. You've got Chasm playing bass and fighting the wind, and Roger with the fire, and then yeah, and then Todd starts to scale this pyramid, and I think we're all like, oh my God, don't fall, right? And he gets up to the top and he just starts wailing on that lead break, right? And he's holding a note and he reaches down between his legs and then just does this somersault off the top of the pyramid and descends down. It's like, so, you know, and then the next time I got to the next concert I went of theirs was the Utopia album, oh, come on, brain, kick in.
After Raw, oops.
Yeah, oops. Thank you. You know, and I'm telling all my high school friends how great this, you know, how great Utopia is, how great Todd is, and we go and they open up, and they come out in freaking white T-shirts and black slacks and just this like, well, what? Wait, what? You know, feeling gypped, and here I have been lying to all my friends of what a great stage show it was. You know, they take a break and come back, and then there's the pyramid and the whole tour. So they, you know, they lived up to our expectations. And I got it. You mentioned or I mentioned, you know, smoking pot or whatever, and I might have done some other drugs back in those days, but I don't think I've ever been as high as I've been hearing Todd playing the end of Just One Victory, you know, and today when I hear it, I can, you know, do a flashback to those days. It's, you know, anyway, it moves me. And I don't know how many times I saw Todd in Columbus or in Ohio. At one point in time when I started traveling around the state to see them. There's a classic show of Legends Valley. They headlined with Cheap Trick and
big show.
Yeah, it was very cool. I'd gone up to you mentioned WMMS. They used to do the World Series of Rock, the big out here in California. They're called Day on the Greens. These are pre-Lollapalooza days, and Todd played, let's see, Eddie Money, Todd, the Cars. The headline was Fleetwood Mac, and who I'm trying to think of the gentleman who used to be in Fleetwood Mac and left, but
Bob Welch.
Thank you. Yes, Bob Welch. It was yeah. Score one for Mel, definitely.
That makes two for me.
You know, it was funny. I was upset that Todd wasn't higher up on the bill. Who are the cars? You know. Anyway,
Yeah. Who are the cars? Yeah, and then look what happened.
Yeah,
So people watching, and Mel and I as well, are always sinning because we are always jealous to hear people that got to see the Raw tour.
I
Not a
know.
lot of folks, but there are a group of them, and they all got lucky. I got to see the best of the best, I guess.
I'm an old man.
Yeah. So how many times do you think you've seen Todd now since you started in 75-ish?
Probably 150.
150. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Okay, so who would you say would be in second place, and how many shows do you think you've seen of that artist?
You know, I'm embarrassed to say it's Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Don't be ashamed of that.
There's
to the left.
Yeah, exactly. You know, those shows are so much
They're
fun.
Yeah. How many of those you seen?
I don't know, probably half a dozen. No, probably about a dozen, maybe 10.
Okay, that's my point. So
you know,
10 times. Your runner-up is 10 times to 150. It's amazing.
Exactly.
I mean, I would. So I'm in similar to that. I would say Mel, probably the same.
No, I've seen Cheap Trick probably 100 times.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Now, Michael, we hear that you have a incredible vinyl collection that would make even Tom Jennings blush. Is this true?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Tom, because one of the albums I was going to show, and you really can't see it, is the Runt album with the extra tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And back when I met Tom in Chicago, we talked about, I think I have 2 versions of that with the extra tracks. And so Tom, hit me up, Facebook, message me. I have 2. I'll get you one. I promised you that.
Surely he's found one by now. That's not that hard to find.
Well, that was the one he said was his holy grail.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's nice. That's nice to reach out.
Yeah, because there were I thought the rarest I've heard was one of the colors for the Wizard of True Star, maybe.
Oh, I have somewhere in here. My holy grail was the colored, a red and blue version of Something Anything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My first album that I collected, I think, was it was not Todd, but Todd related, Bat Out of Hell. Okay. And I don't know if you guys can see that through the glare.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I got that at 18 or 19. And wow. You know, not the most savvy negotiator at that age, nor am I now, but I think I paid, I remember it was $40.
Ooh, big bucks.
And, you know, with inflation, it's probably worth 25 now. So
that's because there's millions of those out there that people have listened to, apparently. So what, now that you said you negotiated that, you didn't buy that at a record store?
It was a used record store. So.
Okay.
And so it was used at $40. Wow.
Yeah. So that was why it was marked down, I guess, Mel said.
We need to see what $40 value is today from then and see how bad he really got ripped off.
Yeah. I'll go from that to this. Where is this? Where did I put it?
Yeah, show us some winners that you know you made the right decision.
So this is. Let's see if I can get it all in there.
Well,
Ultraviolet.
Is that a tongue?
That is her tongue, apparently.
Okay.
She's trying to
channel Gene Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. But Todd played guitar on this. So I in my collection of vinyl, I've got everything that he's put out. I believe I have everything he's ever produced, and now I'm starting to collect other stuff where he's played on it or is associated with it somehow. And this one was very bizarre. And when I asked Todd to sign it, he said, "Oh, I remember her. She was a Andy Warhol groupie." And you know, this was back in the days and hanging out in New York, living in New York. And 1973, Doug, was when this came out.
73, Ultraviolet. Looks like it's brand new.
Ultra.
Mint condition. Other than that hole in it.
Yeah.
But a demo. We'll
I guess, but yeah, this
maybe someone shot it. It was that bad.
well, you know, Meg Chalmers tells me the story. She did some research on her that she had taken some singing lessons, and God, I hope it was after this album because anyway, but she claims that the singing lessons ruined her voice. So that might be why there's not a handful of.
What's her real name? Do you know?
That I don't know. And
okay, so is the Todd guitar part good?
Yes. Yes.
Is it on YouTube? Can we listen to it somewhere? Do people have access?
So, you know, yeah. Well, I'll try and dig that up. So
I'd like to hear it. You know,
and I know that I had bought the album on Apple Tunes, iTunes.
Okay, so we could probably
Yeah.
I bet you Jonathan Rosen or somebody, Mojo Rosen's put it on YouTube. I bet already. I'd like to hear that though.
Okay.
I'd like to hear the guitar part anyway.
Once is enough, probably.
The guitar part, yeah, not the.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to find her, Mel, for a show.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, Ultraviolet, to Rundgren Radio.
Earlier collections were some bootlegs that anyway.
Clear vinyl, cool.
Yeah. You
Nazz
never
action. Okay.
But
oh, I like that one.
Fancy. It's clear.
No, and anybody who just saw me put my fingers all over the grooves, I apologize.
That's like a no-no in the vinyl world.
It is.
Oh man.
None of this sees the needle anyway, so.
Gotcha.
I've started collecting Tom Jennings. Here's your copy.
There. Oh, that's mint condition.
Yes.
Where'd you get that?
Okay, I'm going to put a shout out for Discogs. One, my friend of mine just became chief marketing officer for them, wow. And I'm not giving a plug for her from that, but maybe I am. You know, hopefully she does well. But it's a great place to go look for weird, bizarre albums, which is where most of my stuff's come from. Huh. And you can also, I have yet to find the time to put everything that I have in it, but it will estimate the value of your collection. So if you want to just go plug it in and realize that you've got, you know, a $26 Bat Out of Hell album. So.
Sell it before it's too late.
Yeah. Let's see. You know, you'd mentioned this was the holy grail for the longest time. This is that Something Anything album. The blue one's hard to see in the light, so I'm going to pull out the red side. But I'd gone to when I first moved to California, started shopping for
cool.
You know, started collecting out here as well. And I went to a used record store out on. Anybody who all the Bay Area fans on the show will know Judah, and it was way out in the avenues in the Sunset or Richmond district. Let It Be Records, and the guy had one half of the album, one of the two pieces of vinyl. He had no idea where the other one was, and then for years, and I mean, so this was 1980, 81. So for the next 35 years, this was on the hunt. And then I can't remember. It wasn't Cleopatra. Somebody just recently re-released it on in red and blue vinyl. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, this one came up on Discogs. So I picked it up.
So you have a red and blue from the 70s,
mm-hmm.
and now a red and blue from 2021.
I do. Or it was not 2021. It was a few years ago. So.
A few years ago. Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
maybe 4 years ago or so.
So do you buy all of the, you know, they come out like a Wizard or True Star or tie-dye look or whatever. You can buy all that stuff.
I do.
That's why they keep putting them out. You and Tom.
Exactly. Suckers like me. You know?
Big guaranteed sales. Tom Jennings and Michael Redman. and Mojo Rising, Michael Adrian, a few others. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. One of the more embarrassing ones I've asked Todd to sign is just a second. It is some Christmas album, or not Christmas album, Christmas 45s. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is from Link Cromwell. And where's it? Just a second. I've got to figure out. Well, anyway, Link Cromwell is Lenny Kaye, and Patti Smith's on here, and the Runt produced it. Okay. So, and I had gone to see Todd out here, and I was super late to the meet and greet. And in fact, I was the last one in. They were kind of holding him. They knew I was coming, and more humorous or longer story than I need to make it. But I'm getting off my motorcycle. I've got a backpack full of stuff, and the security guy knows I'm frazzled, and he said, "You don't have any weapons in here?" And I said, "No, I only have a couple 45s." And I didn't dawn on me what I said. So, and he goes, "What?" I go, "No, 45s." So, and then when I go up to ask Todd to sign him. He goes, "What's this?" I go, "It's the Runt." And he goes, "That's not me." And I go, and I was so flustered, I couldn't remember the story of it being Lenny Kaye and Patti Smith and him back someday, and they just released.
You didn't remember? Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, just sign it anyway. He looks at me and signs them. So that's the embarrassing one. So.
Have you got to tell him now that was him?
I haven't had a chance to.
You need to make sure he knows. Yeah.
Good story.
Todd's got a hell of a memory, but I don't
know.
He
does. I was going to say, I'm shocked by that. There must have really been some wild times when he did that one. Yeah, you have Pee Wee Herman, Undercover, all that kind of stuff too.
Oh. Yeah, that's
No stone unturned, Cruiser Mel.
That's funny because the Pee Wee Herman came up in conversation today while I was at brunch.
No.
Yeah. I always love it when somebody mentions something really obscure and they think they know everything there is to know about it. And I'm like, hang on, there's a Todd connection. And they their eyes just roll back in their heads mostly. But yeah.
So
what you got?
Well, so everybody knows he's done work with the New York Dolls.
Oh yeah.
A couple of them that I produced. But rumor has it, and that the Dolls put out an album that when you opened up the sleeve and pushed it, the inside of the sleeve was pink. Now, I've never seen one. I've only heard about it, and it was considered uncouth, so to speak. So they stopped distributing them. And if you would have to visualize that if you.
I understand where you're going with that. Okay,
So
you have that one. Yep.
Some Roger.
There you go.
Really nothing to do with Todd, but it's Woody's truck stop.
Yeah. Todd was in the band. You got Money? You got anything from Money? The band Money? Probably not. I don't know if they did anything on a CD or album or whatever. Okay, so Mike,
everybody who lives in the gym knows Todd Rundgren was on Pumping Iron. Pumping Vinyl.
Pumping Vinyl.
Yeah.
Not the Schwarzenegger movie, Pumping Iron.
No.
Okay, so
like I mentioned, it's collecting stuff that Todd's now been on. All these things that got put out by like promotion albums. Bugs Bunny and Utopia's on here doing Rock Love and The Very Last Time. Just bizarre stuff.
What?
It is bizarre.
Yeah. Give them the works. Something's coming's on this. I don't know how this got put in there. I mean, Tomita, The Planets, Wolfman Jack.
Oh yeah.
You
have BB stuff, BB Buell.
I do have one, but I wasn't going to bring that to the show.
Might get a little cat fight going.
Yeah, exactly. And this might be the best.
There you go. Yeah, that's recent.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Are you a Trekkie?
I am not. Well, I might have listened to it back in the day.
Yeah.
This one really surprises me. You know, I had to understand why the heck when I Googled Todd Rundgren albums, Celine Dion came up. Okay?
Tell us.
He did the background vocals on this album.
Certainly did.
Yeah.
They're in it's in a TV commercial right now, and you can hear Todd and Chasm.
Really?
It's for I don't know, a chewing gum for good breath gum.
Crazy Mel knows her trivia.
Yeah.
I'm firing on
I'm
all
not gonna
cylinders.
compete with her
tonight.
ever.
That's 3 for me tonight on Trivial Pursuit.
So, Michael, what do you you got
Burbank whole catalog, just bizarre stuff right now. And I was trying to get to the one with Pee Wee Herman in it. I don't even know some of the stuff. I don't even know what's on it.
So you have plenty of storage for this stuff, I take it.
Yeah, Roadie, that you talked about that.
There you go. Is it insured?
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah. The Rock Tar Legends. I don't know how many.
You have the one he did for Napa with David from
Ambrosia.
David Pack Ambrosia.
Oh, I might have to. I don't know.
You know, we got him, Mel.
Yeah, you might have.
Gonna have to spend some money now.
Yeah, I don't know if they did a vinyl on that, but they definitely have a CD of it. So.
Okay.
Maybe there's something.
Upstairs, there's a whole bunch of CDs that I.
You have. You have any Taj Mahal?
No, Mahavishnu Orchestra, but not Taj Mahal.
Okay. All right. So, what do you? You have all this stored. You have plenty of room for it, obviously. What motivates you to want to keep all these vinyl? What got you started on that?
Well, it originally started as just having all this stuff, so I would know all those songs. Right. This goes back to, even in the 70s, it was difficult to get a ballad, Rent the Ballad of Todd Rundgren album, and and just then collecting it and listening to it, and then it became. Some people collect stamps. I like to collect vinyl, so and then it just turned in. I don't want to call it an obsession, but maybe it is. I mean, none of us are obsessed with Todd Rundgren, right?
No, it's not. You just have every album, he's produced, looked at, talked about, been on,
walk past in a music.
Walk past, mentioned in an interview. Yeah, no big deal. There's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of Todd collectors that have a lot of, whatever, CDs, bootlegs, albums, T-shirts, you name it. So it's fun stuff. Anything else you collect of his besides vinyl?
Not really. So, others, by the way, thank you for that postage last week. There's a collection of magazines and posters and stuff, but it's not something that I actively search out. For me, it's vinyl. That's what turns me on, I guess. And I get it. It might see the needle one time, and then gets put away. And on the new stuff, I'll buy 2 of them. I might break the seal on one, and maybe someone wants one later on. But my goal is not to resell them. I have no desire to try and make money off of something that.
Yeah, well, it would be hard to when you paid 40 and it's only worth 25.
You have a good point, Doug.
Who knows how much that ultraviolet is worth?
Yeah,
it could be a fortune.
Well, I'm wondering if it was pricey. I'll leave it at that. And if somebody's Google
that's the trouble, Mel. What do you have a great vinyl player from the old days? Or did you get a new one?
It's relatively new. So it's actually vertical. It holds the album in a vertical position and plays it. So
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fancy. Ooh.
Okay, so I've got one more question. Mel might have one. What is your favorite of all those vinyls that you have, or like the one where you go, this is the one that I really wanted and found, or it's just your favorite?
The red and blue, the original red and blue something anything by far. Okay. And people, you'll see these people last question, what's your favorite Todd Rundgren album? And and I can never answer that question except for it depends on my mood. right?
Mhm.
But I would think that if someone forced me, if I had to go live on a desert island, I would take Hermit of Minkala with me.
That's a great one.
Love it.
But your favorite vinyl is something, anything color?
Yeah.
So,
Of
Cruiser Mail,
my
you got,
collectibles, yes.
yeah. Cruiser Mail, you got anything?
No.
Cruiser Mail doesn't have to ask questions because she knows all the answers, as we learned tonight.
No kidding.
Hey, it's a team sport around
She
here.
has taught both of us a lot. Unbelievable, that Cruiser Mail. Do you have any DVDs? Do you watch any of those? Do you get
I
into
do.
that?
I do collect them. It's funny. I see my hair. I'm backwards in my thing, and I go to comb my hair, and I'm brushing out the wrong way. Anyway.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have from the Moogie Klingeman shows. Right. I do have those DVDs, and
Okay.
I've watched them. I've got. I didn't bring out the vinyls of Live at Hammersmith or the Warfield or any of those, but I have those, and they're back over there somewhere. So
Yeah, there just aren't enough DVDs. They need. God, I wish there was more available.
We need one of the Clearly Human show. Hopefully, it'll be coming soon.
No kidding.
Somewhere, there is a reel-to-reel tape. I don't even know. At one point in the late '70s, I had a reel-to-reel player, and it was a Nazz.
Wow.
I still have it somewhere. But
okay, so I said I had one more question, but I have one more, so I'll lie.
Okay.
Where are we going to see you on the road, Utopia? You coming to Cincinnati? Going to LA? What shows are you going to?
I have tickets to New York, it's funny. I really screwed this up. I got a 3-pack for New York City, but somehow I got a one night out of a 3-pack. I don't know how I did that.
You got 3 tickets to one night? Is that what you mean?
No, I clicked
Gotcha.
the option for all 3 nights, and there's the price, and I so well, that's not very expensive, and I buy it, and it's Saturday night.
Ticketmaster. There you go. Well, you can get more, I'm sure. No worries.
Yeah. If I'm going to bother going to New York City, I will. I'll get tickets for the first 2 nights.
You got San Francisco. You got LA. You
got two there. I got a text from Kathy and Brett the other day. They're going to be in LA, so I might go down there to see them. I mean, there's so many people that you want to see. I'm hoping the UK contingent comes across. Oh, somewhere in here. On that note, I have to find this. Just a second. Sorry.
It's all right. We'll talk about, since you brought up LA, you got the Bruce Whetstone Secret Society party on 11/11.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, don't forget that.
So this one is bizarre. This came out in 1972. Okay, it's a public service announcement to get out the vote. Okay. And I just mentioned the UK contingent.
Yes.
Elliot, if you're listening, I brought this out.
Wow.
But Frank Zappa is telling you to get out the vote. So.
Yeah.
You got to keep that away from him. He'll take it. That's right.
Anyway,
all right. Very good. Well, Michael, it's been great. We appreciate you helping us out and being on the show. People now know all about Michael Redman. That's what we wanted.
It's been an honor to talk with you guys. Thanks for having me on Labor Day weekend.
Oh, thank you. You know what? We found out something new tonight, not just about you, but if you want to find some decent music, maybe start going to police auctions.
Or Discogs.
Or Discogs, of course.
There it is. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the road to Utopia.
Hey everyone, hope you're having a good time. Here we go. Underneath your gaze I was found in the haze I'm wandering around in. I am lost in the dark in my own room. some you'll forget me. The thought it doesn't upset me. I am blind to whatever they're saying, and all I can see is the fire in my eyes. Make me wise, or is all I believe in lies? I really don't know where or where to go, and I can't see a thing to open my eyes. No, I can't see a thing to open my eyes. No, I can't see a thing to open my eyes. I can't see a thing to open my eyes. Can't believe that it's on your mind to leave me behind. Todd. Clear my eyes, make me wise. All I believe in lies. Really don't know where or when I go, and I can't see a thing to open my eyes. No, I can't see a thing till you open my eyes. Oh, I can't see a thing to open my eyes. No, I can't see a thing to open my eyes. Hope you have a really good evening at Rundgren Radio Party to remember, and hope to see you one time soon. All best wishes from Astral Drive. Thank you very much. Good night.